everybody, and welcome to This Month in Music for the month of June 2022. I am your host. My name is Tyler, and as always, I am joined by the boys. We've got Brennan.
What's going on, folks?
And we have Kizzity Kyle.
Oh, what's up, my fellow kids? Haha, hello.
Nice. So, we just finished recording the Seder album review, which was our top priority. We got a little bit of time left, so we're not going to completely skip out on doing Month in Music this month, even though our motivation is admittedly pretty low. We are going to expedite the shit out of this episode, though, because we didn't prepare segments. News happened, and we're going to miss out on some clickbait clicks, but it's been a month, fellas. And, you know, it's also been a very stacked month in music, which is what we're here to talk about. There were just some thick piles of songs and albums from this month, and it would be a sin to not talk about them at all. So we're going to have speedrun session this month in music. We're just going to be talking about our favorite tunes. I guess how we'll do this, normally what we do, like the last segment of the show, is we do top picks. It's our part of the show where we give our single and album of the month. I guess we can kind of just dive right into that and have this be the whole episode if we want.
Let's do it.
I feel like there's going to be probably a lot of, like, crossover between our playlists just because of the sheer volume of shit that came out. So, Who wants to kick this party off?
I guess I will.
Cool.
So my playlist, I left off a lot of singles. I thought you guys would have like a shit ton more to talk about in that regard. Of course, like I have Spirit Box, you know, they came out like a little 3-single hit.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty tasty. It's not my single of the month, but they are really, really good.
What did you think of, like, the other two other than Rotoscope? I was actually meaning to ask you. Because, like, I thought Rotoscope was great, and I thought the other two were good.
I was going to push you guys on the same exact thing. I'm very curious what you're say.
They kind of reminded me of, like, their older stuff, in a way, or it was kind of, like, more, like, ethereal shit. But I don't know. They didn't grab me as much. But
I saw a lot of people... Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry.
I mean, they were good. I think Rotoscope is obviously like the best of the three.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, they're not bad songs. They didn't grip me as much as like anything prior that they released before. I just think it's a pretty solid like 3-single hit, you know. Mm-hmm. But I think that's about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah,
I have a hot take about those songs.
Oh,
if we're just kind of talking about our opinions about them.
Light it up. Yeah, go for it.
Cool. I think Hysteria was a better song than Rotoscope in my mind.
Really?
I just liked what it did more. I felt like it kind of like tried some more shit, and I think for me it landed. In general, I saw a lot of people describe all of this with like a lot of grunge inspiration, and I can hear that, like, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like it definitely. And the main takeaway from these 3 songs. So I wasn't like knocked out of my seat or socks were firmly on, as we've said before, about any of them. None of them really like kind of really wowed me. But what I liked is that they're willing to do something new, like, you know, like kind of like really step out the box a bit, or like kind of do older things and like bring it back to the forefront. It's a time we're living in music times where everyone's trying new shit. We got Trunk over with fucking with Stan Atlantic. We've got Spirit Box diving into some grunge, baby. I'm in. Everyone try shit. Gimme.
I mean, Rotoscope had like dancecore elements in it.
It did.
Like, which I was not really expecting. So, yeah,
it was really cool.
Yeah, I dug those.
Cool.
Any other singles on your radar, Banana Bread?
So the one that I'm gonna give, well, actually, so crazy enough, Sleeping with Sirens actually had a really good track called Crosses. Which came out with Spencer Chamberlain from Under Oath, which he's like their unclean dude. I thought that shit was pretty tasty.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course, Shut the Fuck Up from Neck Deep. You know, Neck Deep represent.
Was that June?
Was it? I mean, I think it was. I could be horribly.
I could be horribly. Yeah, that
wrong.
was May.
I believe it was like the
It was
Oh,
like
yeah.
the
absolute
tail end of
Tail
May.
end of
Yeah,
May.
because I
Right.
remember like briefly bringing it up in the last episode. So
All right. Well, it's on there. Whatever. It's still a very solid track, even though it's like over a month old now. But my single of the month is gonna go to a band called Carcosa. They're guitarists. All right. His name is like Andrew Bina or something like that. I always follow him on TikTok, and he has like the coolest TikToks for like deathcore and stuff. Like he has one where he does with the actual vocalist of the band, where they say like pickup lines like in screamo, like in like vocals and shit.
That's cool.
Like pickup lines and like tongue twisters and shit like that, and it always cracks me up. But Nihilus is the name of the track. Very solid track. For deathcore, obviously, like not everybody's gonna be into that shit, but for me, a guy that loves just like super brutal, heavy shit, let's go with some Carcosa for single of the month.
yeah, Carcosa is a cool Pokemon. I dig it.
Yeah. Apparently, he slaps.
Went without shitting myself, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Nice. What about albums, Brennan?
Yeah,
what
what
do you
about
got for albums?
So I had a shit ton of albums come out. I guess real quick rundown. Some people might have heard of a band called Drugs, which stands for Destroy Rebuild Until God Shows.
Yup.
They actually came out with an album called Destroy Rebuild that I thought was actually pretty good. Well, excuse me, for a band that hasn't really done anything since like 2011, 2012.
Yeah, I did not think they were around anymore. I wasn't even aware that this came out.
Yeah, which I remember like when they became a thing, because they have Craig Owens from Chiodos, which Chiodos, if you haven't heard of Chiodos, like you are way too young. Like go fucking check that shit out. Like go fucking listen to old Chiodos. Like there's no penguins in Alaska, and like Baby wouldn't last a minute on the creek. But yeah, he made a new band. They had a really epic track. I can't remember what the hell it was called back in the day. But I remember seeing them at Warped Tour like years ago. But yeah, solid record. Destroy Build. Of course, Motionless in White. Sometimes I think that they're, new age Breaking Benjamin. Which kind of a dig, kind of not. But they do have some tracks that are amazing, like Slaughterhouse with Brian Garris from Knocked Loose. I thought that track was a slammer. A couple other good ones, can't think of them off the top of my head, but solid record, very solid record for a band that sometimes I kind of shit on. Of course, my boy Chris Turner, dude absolutely rips on the drums. He had his album come out finally called Steezy. Instrumental parentheses, I gotta throw that in there. He is the drummer for Ocean's 8 Alaska, and the dude is an absolute fucking savage. He'll record like all of his shit in one take, which like listening to it, that's like impossible.
Yeah,
and then like
mind melting.
yeah, and then like you actually like see him do it like in videos, and you're like, holy shit, this is one take. But the whole album is pretty much like that. Obviously like 40 Roll is like one of my favorites. Triggered, another excellent one. Get Sendy. And then like some stuff that came out like with the record that's still like not quite that level, but like pretty damn close. So if you love instrumentals, if you are a drum fanatic, Chris Turner, he has what you need. Shit fucking rocks. Couple more records. Thornhill released Heroin. I thought it was pretty good. Their previous record, I think it was called The Dark Pool. When it first came out, it kind of bored me. This one I think was a step up, but they have one old EP called Butterfly that I think is like way better. And the last of the honorable mentions, Bleed From Within, a band that was on like the fence, the outside of the bubble looking in on our top 5 back in 2020. The album just has like just mind-melting breakdowns, very intricate guitar work and riffs. Sometimes the vocals kind of leave a little bit to be desired, but when you have bands that do like everything else like epically in like the metal scene, sometimes there's like one thing that they just don't do very well. But the album's called Shrine, and if you want something that's just gonna like melt your socks off, like with brutality and riffs, check that shit out. But my album of the month is something I have awaited since 2014. And even 2014 was okay compared to 2012 and 2011. That, of course, is Remade in Misery by Memphis May Fire. I remember when The Hollow came out, and I remember seeing them at Warped Tour shortly after. This band was like the pinnacle of like metalcore, post-hardcore, that kind of genre, like of Mice and Men, fucking Attack, The Devil Wears Prada. Like, this band was like supreme back in 2011. And they finally made a record that kind of takes me back to that place.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the album is full of rippers. Obviously Blood and Water. That's probably the most memorable riff off the entire thing. Left 4 Dead, fucking love that track. The American Dream, absolute slapper. I mean, from top to bottom, this album is just loaded with like really good songs. And of course, we did an album review of it, so definitely check that shit out. For a band to finally come full circle, I've been awaiting an album like this from Memphis May Fire for a very long time.
Yeah.
And they have finally produced and brought the goods.
Literally never thought it would happen again, but it happened again.
Never. I was so heartbroken with their last 2 records. I was like, this band is not what I remember, and I'm sad. But yeah, fucking that's my shit for the month.
Tight. Kyle, we're on to you.
Oh boy. Well, I'll start the same way. Baby them singles. All right. I started out the month with a weird bang. In fact, my whole month was a lot of random people coming out of the woodwork and being like, I forgot about you. Starting out, Panic at the Disco's back.
Yeah.
They did a song. It was all right. Had some catchy bits. Vocals went crazy like I expected. Curious to see what they do. Album comes out this year, I'm pretty sure. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to check it out. Because when I was younger, I really dug Panic at the Disco. And nowadays, I dip back for a nice taste occasionally of nostalgia. But no, the new single was all right. It was whatever. I'm curious to see what they do with the rest of the album. So Joji, speaking of people that just kind of showed up after places that I haven't heard from in a while, Joji released a song called Glimpse of Us, which just makes me shed tears every time I listen to it. Super good. Became wildly popular on TikTok this month. I hear it every time I open that damn app. The song is beautiful, though. Actually gorgeous. If you haven't got a chance to check it out, absolutely check out A Glimpse of Us by Joji. The song is beautiful. Somebody that I haven't talked about ever on this channel released a song that is incredible. His name is Jazz Emu. He's a very nerdy man on YouTube and TikTok who writes just the craziest weird songs. This song is called Still Waiting. Highly recommend. In fact, there was a moment where I considered it being my single of the month because it's so fucking catchy. His voice is very unique. And the song is about waiting for the DVD logo to hit the corner of his TV. And it's just so good. It's unnecessarily fucking just funky, and his voice just does crazy shit. It's super cool. Absolutely check it out. Check out the music video. The music video visualizes something I didn't think I needed visualized, and I still don't know if I did, but it's still really cool.
Oh, color me intrigued by that entire synopsis for
Absolutely. Absolutely check it out. It's very cool. Corey Henry released a single this month. It's very good. I liked it a lot, actually. It's called Something New. And it was that, and it was good. I liked it a lot. Corey Henry actually also released a song with Imagine Dragons at the beginning of July, which I will talk about in the future. But Jacob Collier released a song with John Mayer, and it's beautiful. It's quite beautiful.
John Mayer's still alive?
Yep. And it's beautiful. It's also featuring how do you say your name? Lizzie Mcalpine. Lizzie
I
McAlpine.
thought you were about to say Lizzie McGuire, and I was about to be like,
Kyle,
that's not a real person. I hate to break it to you.
Yeah, I love
what
Lizzie
a fucking
McGuire.
Throwback. Holy shit.
Yeah, Lizzie McAlpine. She's a really good vocalist. I've never heard of her before this, but the song is very like tranquil and cool and has a lot of really awesome harmonies. Obviously Seder singles, which also were immediately in contention for single of the month. Dying For by Rain City Drive. Personally, I adored it. I think it's super good. On a technical level, that song is actually kind of nuts, like vocally especially.
The end of that song makes like my little semen producers start producing.
What even?
Well said.
Yeah, thank you.
That was it, baby. That's exactly how I felt
go.
when I listened to Dying For. I it's not my favorite single, but it's not my least favorite. Take that as you will.
It was even better said than what I had to say. So thank you for that.
The home team, baby. Whoa!
Yes.
They released the single that we've been waiting to hear. That Tyler was telling us was good.
I had
and
heard
by we,
it.
I mean the two on the sides, or I don't remember what our layout is.
But I'm cool, and I had heard it.
Yeah,
which is why I didn't do a reaction video to it. Because when I saw them in Phoenix, right after the freaking album came out last year, that was my album of the year, and they were like, hey, here's a song that we haven't released yet, and they played it live, and I was like, wow, this shit's great, and then I forgot about it, and then they released it, and I was like, oh my god, this is the song. It's great, and it sounds even better mixed.
I liked it. It wasn't my favorite thing from them, but like I liked it.
I liked it a lot. I just like that.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I definitely like, if it were like in the context of the album, it would have been like middle to higher. It definitely, I think some of the songs of the album like kind of fucking trounce it, like On and shit, like but
it's
like
not on the album, so you can't compare it.
Exactly, and that's why I'm glad it's not, because I like it on its own. It's a very nice time. But all that being said, Jonathan Young released a song too, Wolf Within. It's very good. Check it out. But everything was trumped when this band right here, Snarky Puppy, was just like, we're back. We're fucking back. We got an album coming out this year. It's 18 songs long. It's finally an album that returns to We Like It Here, an album from, I believe, 2014, which is the album that had just come out as I discovered them. And what they do is they record it live in front of an audience. And like, but it's not like your normal audience. Like the band sets up around like a smaller group of people that all have headsets on. They're all like playing the same thing like that they're hearing in their headsets, and they record it with people going whoa and shit like during the actual recording. And
authentic moans really just bring the atmosphere to a whole new level.
Absolutely. The single is called Trinity. It is one of the coolest things I've heard in a very long time, but it was obvious. I'm a simp. Speaking of simpage, I'm a wild simp for Snarky Puppy. The song is incredible. The YouTube video is really cool because you also get to just like see everyone being like reacting to it while they're playing it live. And it's also extended. They actually have like a little like tag on the end for like the crowd in the YouTube video, which is really cool. I am so excited for this album because it like kind of returns to those roots of the of what I originally heard from them back when I first found them out. So I'm really excited. That's definitely my single of the month, Trinity by Snarky Puppy. As far as albums go, we got Our Last Night, baby. Moving on. We've got
moving on.
That album was the most good thing I've ever heard, and it sure was music. And I really like Our Last Night. Awesome. So
like how I've described the last like 3 records they've put out.
Listen, I love Our Last Night.
Consistently inconsistent.
Yes, they don't miss, but they never hit, man. And I'm just waiting for them to really hit again.
That's so accurate, though.
Yes,
they have hit. I shouldn't say they never hit.
Well, they hit on their covers. Like some of their covers are like absolutely top notch. Straight up.
Yeah. Like I described it last time. Like I watch it hit other people. It just never hits me.
Mm-hmm. What freaking album was it that I really liked from them last? Oh, Selective Hearing. It had just come out right as we saw them at Warped, I believe.
I think the one with the wolf was better.
Did you?
Afterward, I think that was the last like really good one that came out that I liked.
That's fair. I don't know. Selective Hearing has like Ivory Tower on it and Tongue Tied and shit. I really love the songs. They're songs I come back to all the time. Mm-hmm. But in general, I mean, like this album's fine. It just doesn't grip me, man.
It's fine.
Like there's a reason why we didn't review it, and it's because like it's a fine album. I'm rooting for Our Last Night. You got it. But anyways, back to the other shit, because moving on. I have got some Magnolia Park, baby. Whoa. Mm-hmm. I like that EP a lot. I mentioned it. Did that come out yet? That episode?
What episode?
Yes, Magnolia Park was the first one that came out.
Yeah,
the first
that was
matchup.
the first one.
Yeah. I really like this EP. I think it's really good. I love a lot of the shit they're doing, and I'm really excited to hear what they do in the future. But not my favorite thing. Got Memphis May Fire, baby. Woo! I love that album, man. It is so fucking tasty. I'm very glad you picked it as your album of the month. It's not gonna quite be mine. It's the runner-up for sure. It's such a great fucking feeling to have that album. It's soothing in a way. It's soothing all of my pain. I love it. But my album of the month is going to go to a little known man, Post Malone. He released an album this month. I spoke to Brennan about this. I don't remember if it was on an episode or not, but like every single album this man has made, it has just been so good, so passionate, like turning the corner on like his genre. He's just always just trying something and fucking knocking it out of the park. And this album is no different to me. I fucking loved it. It's very, very personal. You really can feel so much emotion at times. Like the one song is like a love-hate letter to alcohol, and it's featuring Fleet Foxes, like an a cappella group that I adore from like when I was younger. And it sounds fucking gorgeous, man. And then you got like upbeat shit with like Doja Cat on there, and that song fucking slaps. I Like You. I think that's what that song's called. I can't remember for sure. But the album overall is just super good. Absolutely check it out. Post Malone. You get a thumbs up from me, buddy. I love that. I love your album. Love your music, baby. You keep on doing it, Post. Woo! And those are my things. Maybe Tyler.
Yeah.
What?
You'll never guess that I guess I should start with singles too, since that's what everyone else did. There were a lot from a lot of people, a lot of which I won't talk about. There's like a band that no one's ever heard of called Radiate that I really like, and they released a new single. I think they got an album coming up soon. I don't know when it's coming out. But the new song was very good, and I really liked it. I wanted to do a reaction, but I was like, no one will watch this. So I didn't do it, because I've been very busy, so I can't really just do that, whatever I want. Evan Marion released a new single featuring Pliny and someone else, called Ultima, and that was pretty delectable, if I do say so myself. There's a new Johari song. I know you guys like when I include them on my lists, because they're very like philosophy core weird, and it was about what you would expect from that. Palisades, or Palisades, as I like to call them, released a new song, and it sounded like a Palisades song, so we'll move on from that. And then we have the Seder stuff that came out. We have fucking other stuff. I'm scrolling. Rain City Drive did the thing. I reacted to that. There's a new Carousel King song. I forgot they were a band. That one was okay. That Floya is still releasing stuff, and their new one was pretty good as well. Also, Time the Valuator themselves released a new song for the first time in like about 1,000 years, which really surprised me. Yeah, it's called Black Water, and it was pretty good. I admittedly didn't listen to it enough to like really glean much from it, other than like, wow, they're back. I didn't know they still were. I thought that was the reason that this guy started this new project. They might have a new vocalist now. I can't tell if it's the same guy. I think it is. Okay. But don't quote me on that, because I don't know, and I did not put in the time to research it at all. And I guess that's pretty much it as far as like bands that y'all have like heard of before and give a shit about. I'm gonna give my single of the month to FOMO by the Home Team, because why would I not? I have been waiting for a long time for this song that I heard them play live once and was not able to hear again, except for a shitty recording on my phone of them playing it live. And now I can listen to it in its full glory, and I'm very happy about it. I listen to it like every day. It's great. Albums, there's a thick, tall pile of them. Coheed released a new album. I listened to it once because I think Coheed is fine, and it was fine. Cool. Yeah, Coheed's one of those bands where it's like I get why people like them, and I like them in moments. You know, like they're not like my favorite, but I definitely don't think they're bad. So I always kind of keep them on my radar. And there are some songs on the new album that I really like. A lot of them were like singles that were like leading up to it that I had like kind of already heard before. But like Liars Club was really good. I really like that. The Cut the Cord or whatever was really good. The last song on this album, though, was weird because it was just like 9 minutes of singing space fan fiction. And that really just... I understand that like their whole thing is like their songs are like interwoven with weird space opera fanfic type stuff, which is why I don't get it, I guess. And I feel like at this point, I don't want to get it because it's just a very bizarre thing for me personally. So like getting to that, and I was like, I feel like I'm listening to like the opening or finale of a space opera musical. And I don't know how I feel about that. It's cool, I guess, if you're into it. For me, it was a very weird experience. Also, like, the album itself is called, like, Vaxis 2 or something weird because the name of the weird space character is Vaxis or something. I've gleaned very little from the lore, but I know it's been sprinkled throughout some of the albums I've listened to, and it has always left me in a state of confusion and part of me being like, I kind of want to know, but I don't, and then I just don't look into it at all, and I just take the things I like, and I don't. I've talked about Coheed for too long. I know our good friend in the comments, Joseph, really likes them, so I definitely wanted to bring it up, at least for his sake. I listened to the album, and I apologize that I don't like Coheed as much as most people. I wish I did, and I like them more than these guys, though, probably, so take that as you will, I guess.
I mean, I like old Coheed, like A Favorite House Atlantic and like Welcome Home and shit like that. Like that's back when Coheed
old
was
Coheed
like...
just sounds like Rush.
No.
Wait, sounds like what?
Rush.
Oh.
I don't. I totally don't agree, but I kind of see where you're coming from. Like no, because Coheed, old Coheed was like way more like in depth. But then again, I mean, so is Rush. Like for three dudes, they make
I was gonna say,
they make a fucking ton of music.
Felt like Rush to me. I've kind of liked their newer stuff, aside from like the parts where it gets into like the weird like, welcome to the Death Star. I fucked and made an alien or whatever. I don't know the lore. I'm sorry. I should just stop talking about it.
I don't know the
lore. You've intrigued me. I'm definitely gonna have to listen to it.
It's so much world building in Coheed.
Me in the comments, please. Anyway, Secrets released a new album, and it was a Secrets album. It wasn't bad. It didn't blow my socks off. It was just kind of par for the course. And I'm like, I'll probably listen to it like in passing sometimes. Like if I have it on shuffle, I'll listen to some of the songs. Probably won't get on my way to listen to the full thing, its entirety, but I like it. Future Palace released an album that was pretty good. I thoroughly enjoyed that one because they're just a really good and talented band. So if you haven't listened to them, I'd recommend. I heard of them from Brennan, so I was actually surprised that you didn't bring that up.
No, I forgot when it came out, but yeah.
That's fair. Yeah. I didn't like have it on my radar. I just like saw that it came out one day, and I was like, oh, cool.
Oh, yeah. I love me some Future Palace or whatever.
Unprocessed released like an EP or something. Surprisingly, didn't really care for it that much. It was... because it included some of the songs that I didn't really like that they had released. And it was just kind of that vibe. So I was like, this is like the stuff they make that I just doesn't really tickle my winkle, if you know what I'm saying. And obviously
lots of stuff is really making you feel things in your penis today.
Yeah,
I've used that analogy a lot today.
To be fair, I feel lots of things with my penis on a daily basis. That's just that's just called being alive, my friend. I don't know what to tell you,
brother.
I am not gonna continue this conversation any further. Okay. My album of the month, though, is gonna go to Red Handed Denial's new album because I think personally it is their best work that they have made yet. I know they are not very well known. It's Lauren Babick's band, which I weirdly heard about before I even knew who she was. Which is weird. I heard about her stuff in reverse order as a normal person. But their stuff in the past has been good. which is what got on my radar. But they've never released a record that I was like, yes, like I want to like listen to this like a lot. And I've listened to this album a good amount this month. There's some songs on it that are just very well crafted and very good tracks. I actually wanted to do a album review for this one, but unfortunately it came out on the same day as Memphis May Fire, and we all knew who was gonna win that fight. So yeah. I want to give Memphis May Fire my album of the month, but I think that since Memphis May Fire has better albums in the past, and Red Handed Denial, I think this is their best album, that's kind of what puts it over the edge for me personally. It's very close though.
Nice.
So that's where I'm at with that, and that's my stuff, and then we're done. That's it.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
I talked about Coheed for too long for not having any real knowledge of Coheed.
That's fair. It happens. Something none of us talked about that I just forgot about until this moment, and you mentioned Pliny very lightly.
There was that, big crossover thing that was not uploaded anywhere other than YouTube. I forgot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I guess it was like with like a processing like a soundboard processing company or something, and I didn't know about that when it came out, but like I found that out after the fact, and I was like, that's cool. But that was like legitimately just the coolest thing I've ever seen. It was just like
that shit was sick. I mean,
I follow all of them, and they all were like here, and I was like, is this together?
Yeah.
What? And then I just got super pumped, and it's so tasty.
It was so good. I
It was
remember
fantastic.
because you notified us that had dropped, and I immediately just put down whatever I was doing, and I started up the old reaction station. I was like, all right, here we go.
Yeah. I'm glad you reacted to it, because
it's Tim Henson alone. I'm like, I'm gonna react to this.
Yeah.
And having like two other musical gods just tip-tapping away with him. This is the stuff of dreams, man.
That was my runner-up for single of the month, I will say.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think I named one, and I also forgot that happened, and now that I remember, totally single, like a runner-up, possibly
For sure,
even single
yeah.
month territory.
Deserves to be my single of the month. It's not, though. I'm sticking with what I picked.
Oh, me too.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
I'm a simp for the home team. I give them $1 of my hard-earned money every month. So
damn.
I'm there for
Wow.
them. Not as much as the rest of their Patreon, but I'm still there for them in some capacity.
You're there. Way in the back, but you're there.
Yeah.
You're out here fucking holding it down, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like they don't do shit without you.
That's well, I don't know about this. I didn't go to their show when they came to Pittsburgh, so I don't know.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Still feel bad about that one, but I flew to Phoenix to see them, so
That's commitment, baby.
that counts for like missing a few of their local shows, in my opinion.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway, we're done. That's the end of the episode. I hope you enjoyed this abridged version of This Month in Music, where all we did was talk about songs we liked. It's kind of like the old style of the show before we tried to make it interesting in any capacity. If you enjoyed this episode, please let us know by liking it. And if you haven't subscribed to the Talks a Lot Boys yet, and for some reason you feel compelled to do so after this, go ahead and do that. I will not sway you away from what your heart is telling you to do. While you're down there, ringle-dingle the bell, and then you'll get notified when we have like full-length episodes come out in the future. Maybe. And make sure you comment below. Let us know what your favorite singles and albums of the month were. If there was anything we missed. If there was anything we didn't talk about enough. If you would like to talk about Coheed with like a level of like understanding that I don't have, then feel free to do that as well. And yeah,
Check out our Seder review.
Yes, check out our Seder review if you haven't already. We did just record that, and I'm probably uploading them both at the exact same time, so it's probably already up. Definitely go listen to that album if you haven't. Watch that review. Man, neither of these videos are going to perform well. We have been the Talks a Lot Boys, and we will talk a whole lot more next time. See you later.